This lesson is on comparing box plots. So what exactly is a box plot? Again, you learned about this in sixth grade, just like the dot plots that we did a couple days ago. But a box plot is going to be displaying data distribution, and you have to have five key numbers in order to make a box plot. And when you look at or read a box plot, you're going to see five key numbers represented there. We also call these box and whisker plots. It depends on who your teacher is and what they call it, really. A box or whisker plot is an older term, but really you can call it a box plot or a box and whisker plot. But the five different key numbers that you either need to know to make the box plot or that you can see from reading a box plot, you can see those listed there, and you know how to find all of them. So we've got the minimum value, the first quartile, which we learned how to find that when we did IQR or interquartile range, median, third quartile, and then the maximum value. I'm going to help you in the first example. We're going to talk about how to find all of those five pieces of data. So here you go. Take a look at example one. Okay, so for example one, we were given some data where somebody counted the number of animal crackers in snack size boxes. So they've eaten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 boxes of animal crackers and counted each box, how many crackers were in each box. We've been asked to make a make a box plot. And in order to do that, we need these five pieces of data. The very first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and rewrite the data that's given in numerical order from least to greatest. That way it's easier to work with. When it's not in numerical data or in numerical order, it's really easy to make mistakes, and we want to try our best to not make mistakes, especially when if we already struggle in math, we want to set ourselves up for success by cutting out any of those things that we know that make us struggle. So I've got my data ordered from least to greatest now, so I can easily identify my minimum value is 34. My maximum value is going to be 50. My median, I need to find the median value of my data set. So to do that, I cross off the lowest, highest, lowest, highest, lowest, highest to find that my median is 48. And then if you recall from when we did measures of variation, I did a video on finding the IQR, the interquartile range. We have, now that we found the median, we have this lower and upper half of our data, and I can find the median of that, which is 45, and the median of this one, which is 49, and that's going to give me quarter one and quarter three. So now that I have these five pieces of data, I'm going to put them on my number line that was given or provided for me. So I'm going to plot 34, 45. Ooh, those are going to be close. 48, 49, and 50. All right, so let's draw our box plot. So our median, our quarter one and quarter three is always going to make a box. So we have our rectangle drawn with the outsides of our rectangles being through quarter one and quarter three data. And then my median has a line right in the middle of that box. And then my maximum, my minimum are what we would call the whiskers if we were calling this a box and whisker plot. That's kind of an older term, but your parents probably remember that. If you ask them what a box and whisker plot is, many of them would at least kind of remember that term. So here's a box plot. We just made it, our five data pieces, minimum first, maximum, then we can identify the median, and then we can find the quarter one and quarter three data. So you're going to try one on your own. Real quick, I wanted to point something out. Do you see this in my mirror right here? I had a student the other day ask me if it's a toilet. It looks like a toilet lid, doesn't it? But it's actually a mirror that's on my wall, like on that side of my room. This mirror is reflecting to another wall, and it's just an oval mirror. It's definitely not a toilet lid on my wall, a toilet seat on my wall. So here's an example that you're going to try for yourself and then check your answers. All right, so here we go with example 2. This time we're given a dot plot and we're asked to identify some of the 5 different points on the dot plot, on the box plots. Sorry. Most often when in the middle school level, you're asked to compare box plots, and it's typically talking about the median. So when I do this example, and then the one that you're going to try on your own, the try on your own is going to be having 2 box plots that you're going to be comparing. You still use the same thing that I'm showing you here. You have to be able to identify the median or the quarter 1 or the quarter 3, or the interquartile range, which would be subtracting my quarter 1 and quarter 3. But this is the basic, and then you're going to apply it to some other questions. So here we go. So on my box plot, I have my minimum and my maximum are the outsides or the ends of my whiskers. So I'm going to go ahead and put those down. That here is going to be on 11. And a lot of students get confused when they have a point on a graph that isn't identified by the number line. So if we look here, this is, it skips from 17 to 20. So that means in between here, equally spaced apart, we would have an 18 and a 19. Does everyone see that? So my dot here on the end, my maximum is going to be 18. All right. Now the next easiest one to identify is your median, and that's always going to be the line in your box. The median isn't always going to fall right in the middle of that rectangular box. It could be skewed over to the right or over to the left. But in this case, my median is right over that 14. My quarter 1 is identified by the left side, our left side of the box, and the quarter 3 is identified by the right side of the box. I'm going to come down here, and on my number line, I'm going to tell myself what each of these spaces represents. So I know that I have quarter 1 is my 12, and my quarter 3, we would have 15 and 16. So quarter 3 is going to fall on the 16 spot. So if I was asked questions about the median of this box plot, I know that it's right there where that line is. If I had to find the interquartile range, I would take my quarter 3 and subtract it, my quarter 1. You can do all of the comparisons with box plots once you know these 5 data points. So the next one you're going to try on your own, push pause to do it. And again, when you're looking at that number line, you may need to write it down and mark down what are those points in between what they've given you so that you know where your box plots, your 5 pieces of data are actually falling. You don't need to guess. You can usually see the way it's equally spaced out. So try the next one on your own.